Before we get started, a quick word from our sponsor, Community Financial's President CEO Tansley Stern podcast, Despite Impossible. Now on to the show.
Studio Lounge interviews brought to you by Trellance.
Hey everybody, Mike Lawson here with CUBroadcast. Welcome back to our continued coverage of the 2025 Trellance EDGE conference here in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. And look who we have in the Studio Lounge. A couple of fine gentlemen sitting right next to me. Mr. David Wright from TriscendNP, officially.
Thanks
How are you, David?
Doing well. Thanks for having me.
I'm glad you're here. And then look who's back. Tom Davis from Trellance Cooperative Holdings shall I say.
Absolutely.
And
this will hopefully iron that in a little bit.
That's right. Yeah. So all right. So I'm glad to have you guys here because we're talking about a partnership that you guys just struck up, as they say. So before we get into the partnership, David, tell us a little bit about Triscend.
Yeah,
give us a quick elevator speech on those guys.
You bet. Well, we're a full-service executive benefits firm. We're out of the Dallas area.
Okay.
We were founded about 25 years ago and have been blessed to work in the nonprofit community for the entirety of that.
Good for you guys.
And then credit unions for the vast majority of that as well. So we're, experienced with this. We come out of a little bit different of a background. We're not insurance or executive benefit people as a background, but we come out of investment banking and mergers and acquisitions.
Okay.
So we take a little bit of different approach, more of a transactional approach here. But we're an ESOP company, so everybody in the company owns a piece of Triscend, and we think that really matters in terms of how they deal with our clients. But again, we've been blessed to have a relationship with Trellance as serving them from an executive benefit perspective for a number of years now, and very excited about the partnership taking another step.
Right on. And so tell me a little bit more about the partnership between the two companies. Tom, you want to take it from the Trellance perspective, if you will, and then David, you can share with us from the Triscend perspective.
Yeah, so it was a year ago GAC actually, and it was sort of an accidental conversation that sort of sparked up.
That's what happens at GAC.
So this is a culmination of a year of that, and I would guess that most people probably would have thought at that point in time Trellance and Triscend that we might use their services, which we do, and they're excellent at doing that. But why would Trellance and Triscend get together? And so at first it was sort of like, well, how can we get together? We wanted to be a holding company, and if you want to be a holding company, then this shouldn't look foreign to you, and the industry should look at this and say that is natural. And so we've looked at a lot of things in the last year, and this is the one that we really felt strongest about. It's a good partnership. I really respect Dave and Dale and what they've been able to do for me personally, and for many of our boards and many of the other credit unions that we work with. So I know they're a really good outfit, and it was sort of like, hey, what can we do together? And they had some tech stack. I think we'll talk about that in a little bit. That that they may have been able to get some help from with us, from ProBridge specifically on, and we just worked it through, and here we are today. And I think it's a really great announcement that we made last week. What do you think, Dave? Dave. Yeah, there was a press release last week.
Breaking news, everybody.
Yeah.
David, give us the Triscend perspective.
Yeah. Well, just to build on that, I think one of the things that we saw in this partnership is that it gave us the ability as a company to step forward. I think firms like us that serve credit unions and even companies that are on the periphery of credit unions have been allowed to be stagnant and not evolve technologically, and not innovate over time. And so being able to partner with Trellance and have that investment they make in us is going to allow us to take another step and serve our credit union and executive clients much, much better. So I think that's why it works so well. It means a lot to me to hear what Tom says, because he's used our services. So we're not just an acquisition, we're not just an investment. We are something that we provided good value to them, and they've seen that. And again, I think that just makes it a lot easier to do. But to us, it's all about taking that step forward and serving our credit union clients and our executive clients in a way that almost they're probably not expecting, but is long overdue.
So, second question here. So, what inspired? You kind of already answered what inspired this, but okay. So, how exactly does it work? I'm credit union XYZ. I'm looking at it from our perspective. What's the credit union looking at?
Well, when they're looking at a firm like us,
when they go, hey, how's this partnership work for the benefit of the credit union and ultimately the members?
Yeah, well, I think what's going to do from our perspective is allow us to differentiate ourselves. Because if you look out in the marketplace right now, there are dozens of companies that do what we do. And from a credit union's perspective, it's probably starting to sound kind of noisy, difficult to distinguish between folks. Messaging sounds weird. It's almost turning into a commodity, so I'm just going to go with the cheapest alternative. And that's not how this should work. These are big decisions. And so we're going to use this as a way to say, you should expect more, and here's where the bar ought to be. and we're going to get to that bar and we're going to exceed it. But it's all about us really demonstrating our difference in how we operate differently inside of credit unions.
Okay, and same question to you, Tom, because I mean, there's a lot of moving parts going on at Trellance Holdings right now, Cooperative Holdings. So, how does this partnership look to a credit union?
Right. So, my focus, as I talked on the last time, is to really help these fintech service providers, these QSOs, really excel. Well, a lot of them work for credit unions, and a lot of them need executive benefits. And we're developing a shared services layer. We want to provide operational excellence. This is part of it. Retention and development of talent is a very big piece of it. We think that there's a business for Triscend in this space, and they can help us do better at what we do. We're also developing a tech stack that we think is going to help Triscend be able to deliver better value to the clients that they currently serve and future clients as well. So we're working with them, and we're going to learn sort of the executive benefit space through our ProBridge relationship. We're actually staffing up a team in India right now to start building this tech stack. So I think what you're going to see is a better delivery of the TriscendNP services to the market, and you're going to see a richer service offering through this partnership for the folks that we serve.
How does this complement what you guys are already offering now? Because it sounds like I can see it, but just for the folks out there, from your perspective, Tom, how does it complement all the other offerings that Trellance is offering?
Right. So at a specific level, and the Trellance LLC, the shared services layer, we sort of deliver the talent back to our entities through basically like a PEO model, employee leasing model. And some of those employees get their executive benefits from Triscend.
Exactly.
So that we don't have that capability, but Triscend does, yet they work for Trellance LLC through the holding company, and they get their executive benefits through TriscendNP.
Gotcha. Okay. That's all we make. I just wanted to connect the dots here for everybody. So last question here. So what can credit unions expect from partnering? What's on the docket as you guys, because this is brand new, obviously, so next steps moving forward, what can credit unions expect moving forward here?
Well, I think to kind of layer on what Tom said, it's going to be a more seamless delivery. One of the things that this technology is going to allow us to do is better manage this process of designing, implementing, and servicing executive benefits across the board. So it's going to allow us to make that seamless, be able to communicate and provide information along the way. Okay. So it's going to be a process thing. One thing I did want to mention kind of on the tangent is we have also, given our commitment back to credit unions, we've also formed a QSO as well, and we deliver these executive benefits through that QSO back to the credit union community, which allows us to reinvest and keep a lot of that profitability in the credit union community. And in fact, we're awarded the new QSO of the year at the QSO.
I remember
a few weeks ago.
Oh my gosh, I've never seen it on stage.
Absolutely. Well, but anyway, that changes the game a little bit. It allows us to be partners with our credit unions as opposed to just vendors. That's a word that bothers me a lot. We're so much more than a vendor.
Yeah, we need to figure out another term there.
Yeah, exactly. But I just think it's going to allow us to deliver a much more seamless experience, which is just going to help everybody. Because a lot of times the things that we do don't necessarily get the respect that they deserve inside of somebody's overall financial plan. So it's easy for them to get their 401k and their mutual fund stuff, but it's not easy for them to get their insurance-based assets and bring it into that fold. And so this technology is going to allow us to bring a lot of stuff together and really demonstrate the value of what we do.
Right on. And Tanya, again, same question to you from the Trellance perspective.
Yeah, well, there's some things that we're cooking up that we're not ready to talk about just yet. Stay tuned. So Dale and Dave have some ideas about bringing some other services, not just to the folks that we normally serve, maybe even to the members of the credit unions that have small businesces. And so we've got some ideas there, and that's all I'll say right now, because I'll let Dave and Dale do their announcements when they're ready for that. And I think what Trellance is going to be able to do there is some funding, and then some market reach, and certainly we want to get in that space with some of the fintech providers that we're working with. So I think there's more to come.
Okay, I already have questions I'm brewing in my head now based on what you just teased there, Tom. So
I don't know if you want to add anything. I'll let Dave say whatever if he feels comfortable saying.
I'm zipping the lips.
All right. We'll save it for the next time.
Get a scoop here, ladies and gentlemen.
Absolutely.
Well, we'll love to have you guys back on when that next step happens because
Yeah.
I have a feeling Creighton's going to be very excited about this because I
Intriguing
already have
stuff.
questions.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, good deal. All right, well, I know you guys have a lot to do here. Anything else to add here before I unleash you onto the show? Because I think the whole
yes.
is out here now.
The roar.
Exactly, the roar of the crowd.
Yeah. No, nothing really here other than just thanks for having me on,
You're
and
welcome.
appreciate
You're
the
welcome.
time.
You got it. And Tom, anything else, sir?
Nope. Thank you, Mike.
All right, guys.
Great job as always.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
Thank
Keep
you,
up the
sir.
good work and
Yeah.
look forward to the next next iteration here.
That sounds great.
Well done, guys.
Thanks.
Good job.
Studio Lounge interviews brought to you by Trellance.
A quick word from our sponsor, Community Financial's President CEO Tansley Stern's new podcast, Despite Impossible.